Steam Machine's out. Don't look at the cost. The dad's got new controllers for those that they lost. Zelda on an iPhone, a controller's your pal. And this dad just captured his first Victory Royale.
Hey. The adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming. It's a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives.
My name is Trevor, and I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old. And just props to Trevor here. If anyone's joining us live, you knocked that poem out in 30 seconds. Well done.
It took longer for me to write. So it took longer for me to recite the poem than it did for me to write the poem.
Yeah,
I was like, just knock that one out.
Yeah, it's perfect.
No AI replacing this fella. Because each week on this show, we try to show you, just because you became a dad
does not mean it's game over.
All right, welcome everybody to the show. For anybody joining us live, we're going to be doing a special two-parter. For those who are just receiving it on the normal podcasting networks, you'll receive the first part. If you want to catch the entire stream, find us on our YouTube or any other social medias otherwise. If you want to subscribe to the podcast and anything else, we're on all the major podcasting networks, and we'd absolutely love to hear from you. Reach out to us at New Dad Gaming on socials or newdadgaming.com. One of the best parts of the show so far has definitely been interacting with gaming dads, receiving their stories, their beer recommendation, their game pick, anything between, either to read on air or just interact. So go ahead and reach out to us. But for this doubleheader, myself and my family, we are wrapping up our South adventure. For those long-time listeners or perhaps new ones, the family and I had come down to Colombia, where my wife is from. My kids are actually dual citizens of, and just wanted to give them that type of experience and also skip the winter. We're wrapping that up. I'm going to be heading back north in the coming week or so, and so Jeff and I will be knocking out 2 episodes for the price of 1. We'll see if we can keep our energy level up through this entire process.
Yeah, again, we're just winging it here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, now the first thing to talk about, like, not going to bury the lead, the internet has been set on fire once again because the Steam Machine has officially launched its pricing.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well. Like, how would you... I don't know, how did you first receive it? Like, how did you first take in the responses to this? Like, what's your general sense now that we understand the pricing of this Steam Machine, which had a lot of hopes coming out?
Yeah, it did have a lot of hopes. There was a lot of, insiders that would say, well, they're going to price it a little bit above what you're used to. So, me being that bright-eyed, bushy-tailed new gamer, I was thinking, like, there's no way they crack 1,000 with this thing. Like, $9.99 I could see, like, that has a psychological thing to it. But no, when it's above that, Canadian at least, with no controller and 512 gigs of hard drive space, I was disappointed. I will not lie. I was like, oh, okay, well, there it is. Like, it's just not going to happen. There was no hemming and hawing about it. Like, oh, maybe I could swing it because, again, love the Steam Deck and thought this could be a good complement to that. But yeah, it's too rich for my blood. Not really into the whole, I don't know, it's a little bit too much for what it offers for me. A lot of reaction is mixed, I saw. A lot of people obviously don't like where this price point is headed, knowing that other consoles may take the same path. But there's other ones out there saying, it's justified. They're just the first ones to do it, so give them a break.
Yeah, I think for us, really the challenge would be, if anything, they're victims of, I almost want to say like bad timing. Because the Steam Machine came out and it was universally seen, I feel, like a fantastic bargain. Mm-hmm. $300 or $400 for the base model, not setting the world on fire, but a completely capable machine for those who didn't have a gaming PC, portable, set off a whole new wave of devices, right?
Yeah.
And the pricing was just so competitive and compelling. So that they launched these new devices, and the thought is like, oh, okay, well, it'll probably be better. But in some ways, to give them some credit is that like the world has changed. Like the RAM apocalypse, storage apocalypse, like it's bad out there. If you're trying to build a machine, you are going to face some of these similar issues, and it just seems like they could not, despite their power and their hopes and their build capabilities, were able to overcome it. So we're seeing, so this is Canadian pricing, but like, so the Steam Machine 512 gigs on its own, no controller, $1,500 Canadian. Just like it's to laugh. Crazy. And then the 512 with a controller is $1,628, so a full, basically like $100 more. The 2 terabyte machine is $1,919, no controller. With controller, the 2 terabyte version is $2,000.38. It's like, what are we doing? And like, what I was curious about was looking at the comparison. So the Steam Machine versus kind of some of the competitors. So this the base level of the Steam Machine, so it's $1,000 US. The PlayStation 5 standard is $600. The Pro is $900. So it's expensive than both those consoles. Yeah. Now, from a comparable PC, right? The base Steam Machine features performance roughly equivalent to an AMD Ryzen 5 5600 CPU and 16 gigabytes of single-channel RAM. To be clear, that is certainly competent. That's not a bad build, but that is not cutting edge by any stretch. You know what I mean? Like 16 gigs of RAM, immediately you should know that's like, wait, that's not super great. Yeah. You can get that on a PC side for about $1,000 to $1,100. So, and that's like with faster processing, like so this build, which I kind of feel like this is a little bit rosy, but it's saying, but for for a grand or $1,100, you can get a Ryzen 7, you can get a RTX 5060. No, I could probably believe that one actually, and then 32 gigs of RAM and a terabyte SSD for about the same price. That performance bump is not minimal. Like that is significant. There's kind of no way to sugarcoat that one.
No.
So what do we do? What are we doing here?
I don't know what we're doing. I thought for sure Valve would just either really pump this thing and be like, hey, okay, well here it is, Half-Life 3. You want this thing?
Steam Machine exclusive. It's not even on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's just not on Steam at all. But yeah, they just kind of launched it in there, and like it's a cute little cube, right? It reminds me of the GameCube very much so, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought for sure they would take the hit on the hardware side just to get everyone into the Steam ecosystem, even more so, right? Wall it off. It would definitely keep me there, and I wouldn't have to, I've stepped back from paying for PS Plus and Nintendo Online. It's just I'm kind of done with that stuff now. I want less subscriptions, not more. And this was kind of like the gateway over to that. But yeah, a little bit too much, I think. I would attempt to build a PC, I think, at that level, at that price. But if they could... I don't know. The industry was going one of two ways. You had Xbox saying, we're going to stream everything. Everything's going to be on a TV, on your phone. Everything's an Xbox. Everything is an Xbox. And then you have Steam that went the other way. Be like, actually, we're going to go on the console market and just see what that looks like. And obviously, this is what this is now. And Xbox reversed course, right? They don't want everything everywhere. I would say that was the better move. They almost foretold the future and be like, no, we can get people in the Game Pass because they can't afford these $1,500 machines. So why not? That's 7 years worth of Game Pass or whatever. So
yeah, I'd be curious to that's one of those as a small aside and tangent. I do wonder. I have tried streaming with the Xbox and on multiple devices. It just does not seem to hold up. And I'm somebody here down currently in the South, probably not. But in Canada, I had the highest possible internet rate. Yeah. And just every now and then it would start to stutter.
Oh, that's funny.
Something would happen. And I just get the feeling that it's not quite cracked yet. Right? So I don't know if they're reacting to the numbers where it's we can't serve this fast enough or people aren't using it, or if it's, they heard the outrage and they just want to get the machines back in the system, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The Steam Deck, again, like the problem, this machine could have come out and it would have been fine. It's like, okay, it's a little bit pricey, but it is a really nice like package and it's Steam like first party. Okay, it's a bit of a premium. The problem I feel is the emotional whiplash from this device coming after the Steam Deck.
Yeah, totally.
Because the Steam Deck just set such a high bar for something that was so different, so innovative. Literally, again, like I already said it, but it's worth repeating. Literally launched a brand new category. The MSI, like the G Cloud, like all these other devices that came after it, trying to chase it, right?
Yeah.
And then this thing comes out, like there's not going to be a new category. Like this is just a computer. Like there's nothing to it, and it's just overpriced. It's not overpriced. It's priced appropriately for the components.
Yeah. And that's kind of the part where we're having an issue with, right? Like you can get these bulk deals, whatever you need to do, but like your Valve, like I don't know, figure it out.
Yeah.
But it does. You're right. It is whiplash because you would think that they would step people into stuff or even have a lower tier that 512 is actually, because like I heard that this was supposed to be $700 when they had developed it. It was supposed to launch at $700. They waited, or they had a components shortage already, and that jacked the price. Like, okay, yeah, I understand that. Now you've kind of lost your market a little bit. I know that Xbox is developing a handheld. I think that's been a, open secret. Are they gonna even try to launch that thing? Because where do we go from here? So I don't know. It's just,
700. That would have been so compelling at $700. That's great. You said it. I'm like, oh man, that's awesome.
Right? That would be maybe I could like, okay, that's reasonable. That gives me all this power, and I could do that, right?
Yeah, but I suppose what makes it sad too is like I don't feel, and you let me know how you feel. I don't perceive it as Valve being greedy, in the sense that like, we know a bunch of people are going to get this. Let's maximize our profits on this. It kind of feels like they're the victims of just circumstance, in the sense that like, look, like the components went nuts. Like the components went nuts, and we can't lose. We can't lose $600 per machine. It just doesn't work. But they were already so far along. It's like, well, we have warehouses of these boxes. We have to try to sell it. So I just don't get the feeling from it, how this all came about, that this was profit maximizing more than loss prevention, given circumstances beyond their control.
Yeah, like I was going to offer a third option there and be like, well, we just wanted to try this out to see if we could do it. And really, it's going to be a tax write-off for us. So like, we'll put it out there. If we don't sell it, then, whatever. I'm sure this thing will sell out. Like those units that they've kept, they're not going to sustain the initial wave of things. We could probably check right now and they'd probably be sold out. So people will buy it. And I think it was just for them to see if they could do it. If they really wanted to crack that market, this would not be an acceptable price. Or, again, they're the first ones to do it, and PlayStation, Xbox, even Nintendo are not far behind, right? So there's going to be a place where everything rubber bands back. Like, I'm not sure who can afford it all the time, right? Like, it's a luxury now, and it's more so.
If all that's hardware apocalypse like starts to chill out, because AI centers like don't need it anymore, like perhaps like we get back to a reasonable place, and then Steam Deck, tell you what, they're setting themselves up to be the console heroes that nobody else wants to, because while PlayStation and Xbox have bucked the trend of the entire history where it's like consoles always go down after the couple of years, and instead they've gone up, Steam Machine is starting super high. And what it's going to do is slowly ratchet down over the coming like 3 or 4 years. Yeah. And they'll be heralded like a hero.
You're right. That's totally a viable strategy. Let's see if it happens. You've predicted it.
We'll book this. We'll book this episode to see and bookmark it, see if we can nail that prediction. But let us know, everybody. Are you going to pick up a Steam Machine? Do you blame them for it? Are you upset about it? Do you actually think it's reasonable? And perhaps we're just overreacting? We'd love to get your thoughts at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. Now, revelation last episode was that theoretical gamer, Jeff, supposed gamer part of this podcast had never played Ocarina of Time. But
No.
And you decided to experiment a little bit to see what way could you experience what some call one of the most like classic games ever built. So why don't you walk us through your trials and tribulations trying to check out Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, so like you said, I want to, validate my gamer status and go after one of the greats. People like look at this game and like it invented a whole slew of other games that came after it, like the systems that introduced everything that was kind of put out there on the Nintendo 64, right? So yeah, I want to check it out. I've always missed this one. Why not? So my first kind of path to doing this was trying to get it on my phone. Which is on an iPhone 15, not crazy powerful or whatever, but it will run Zelda, which is great. Runs well. Like, again, I think the original frame rate is not the greatest, so it runs that. Because I don't think it's going to try and improve it by any sort of other brute force power. So it's playable, definitely playable. The touch controls, not playable. You can't move Zelda properly. If there's any, or Link properly, if there's any sort of platforming or something, it did not work. So, me being me, I'm like, well, how can I just link in my PlayStation controller to this thing? So I have my phone set up on the couch with my PlayStation controller paired in, and it works perfectly. Everything's fine. All the buttons like remapped. It's great. Talked to you about it a little bit, and I was already looking for like, can I get an attachment to hold my phone to the controller? And like, sure enough, there is, right?
Oh yeah.
Have that ready to go, like in the Amazon cart. They're just game wise, just for a second, they're like at the time, this was definitely, top of its game. But going back, there are definitely some quality of life things that I would love to improve. Just speaking with the menu system is just kind of wild to me, and swapping in and out of items all the time is a chore. Mm-hmm. So that is, something of its time, and I can give it credit for trying to introduce those systems. But also, this is a scary game. Who played this? As a child.
Yeah, there's some moments.
It is haunting. I ran into spider children. They're like, please break our curse by defeating all the spiders in the world. And if you don't, it's completely optional. I'm like, who? What a choice.
You kids are fine.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, like some of the stuff. It is funny because it is the warm moments are the ones that, if anything, really stick with you. But if you think about some of the horrors that get visited upon in this game, it is pretty wild. Like I almost want to say some of them because you're going through it right
don't because like
it's just some darkness in this.
I just went into the first tomb of the royal or whatever and found these like mummy guys that like, I'm like, what are you doing here? And they would jump on you and start like, I don't know, like feeding off your neck. I'm like, what is this game? What is going on? This is horror. Like I couldn't believe it.
I think call it benefit or get stricken by, depending on your viewpoint of it. But one of my favorite things about how terrifying Resident Evil was, the original one on PlayStation 1, is how awful the controls were.
Totally,
like
the tank controls or whatever they were.
So because as soon as something happened, like you felt it basically felt like when you're in a dream and you're trying to run away, but like it feels like their feet are like quicksand, like it's hard to move. That's what it felt like in PS1, right? I think this game benefits, I'll say in air quotes from that too, because some of the bulkiness of some of the interactions makes those moments of like when something scary comes up or something kind of chasing you, you don't have that twitch ability to like fix it. So it ends up being just there's something that ends up being so much darker when the graphics aren't that good and the controls are difficult to manage.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I stepped into this beautiful world. Like, it's very cartoony, very lovely. Like Link wakes up from his long sleep and he goes out his treehouse, and all of a sudden I'm encountering zombies in this tomb. I'm like, where? Just wait. Completely pendulum swing. So yeah, I've heard that it does get way darker. But so I will see. I'm trying to go in spoiler free. Frankly, I haven't seen anything. Like I haven't remembered anything about this game, so it is a good first time for me. But yeah, like this kind of spun out to like, well, okay, apparently there's a 3DS version of this thing that was kind of like a remaster, but not quite. Just kind of gave some quality of life things and introduced that stereoscopic 3D effect. So I have been out of the game in Kijiji forever. Like I can't recall the last thing I bought on a marketplace. So like eBay, Kijiji is like the eBay here in Canada. Yeah. I haven't been there I think I logged in and it was like 8 years ago. So I have looked for this game on Kijiji to try and buy it after market. And that's where I am at. We started with Jeff not playing Ocarina of Time, and now Jeff has possibly 2 copies. And who knows if the remake comes out.
Just tendrils going out to see like what you can possibly get into.
Yeah.
I was curious of like that reminded me. I was curious what the current resale market is, and again, it's one of those things that anyone who held on to their 3DS or even like 2DS, honestly, at this point, it's kind of gotten through that valley where now it's becoming like retro and it's like seen as like a high quality thing. So this person's selling a 3DS with Smash Brothers and Zelda Majora's Mask.
Okay.
Like that's for $200. Now that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like all considering, which is funny to say because you're paying $200 for a 10-year-old system. Like
probably a little bit more than that, right?
Let's see, Zelda. So 180 for the 3DS original, 160, 200. There's my boy SP for going for 160.
2011 it launched. Okay.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, here's a Zelda. Okay, that's Majora's Mask going for 30.
I do have Majora's Mask, so I'll have to play that one next. That one's the sequel, right? So.
Yeah, I've never played that one, honestly.
Looks scarier. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to expect.
Ocarina of Time 3D going for $50, the cartridge.
Woo.
Yeah, so it gets there. It gets there.
Yeah. I won't be paying $50 for it. I'm hoping to get a deal out of there with somebody that, may not know that the remaster's coming out, and I'm sure a lot of people will be snapping these up. But I wouldn't mind playing on the 3DS just to have that kind of, I don't know, Nintendo kind of feeling to it. On the iPhone, it feels a little disconnected, even with the other controller. But
playing an actual copy of it.
Yeah,
would be a little bit nicer. I think that's certainly fair to say. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm really curious to see how you get through it. I want to see like what your general thoughts on it, like what comes about.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, keep us posted. Hey, Gaming Dads, has a remake rekindled your interest in Ocarina of Time? Have you dusted off the old 3DS to check it out? Write in and let us know at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. So continuing on with mobile. So what I don't know if I'm just like a bad game journalist or a podcaster in that way, but like apparently Fortnite relaunched on iPhone.
Oh yes, okay, yes.
And it just completely like I think it's only a couple months since, but like completely flew over my head. And what's funny enough is that like my sons and I love to play this game, but it sometimes can feel a bit difficult to arrange all the systems. You can play 2 people at once on the Xbox, but like a bunch of our controllers are busted. So it doesn't quite work very well. And then I don't have my gaming PC here, so I can't do it. So we were having some difficulty with it. But then I found that there it is. Like Fortnite's back on the iPhone. This is fantastic. Let me just pull out my old Backbone. Right? So I have the Backbone controller.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you damn well know it, Jeff? Like to its credit, I don't think the Backbone's broken. I think the pins or the receptors on my iPhone are a bit broken. Now I can still charge it, but it's long enough in the tooth, it's a 14. Yeah. That it breaks the connection enough that it's not connecting.
Not going to work.
So I'm sitting there it's just that gaming dad moment, and I'll say this, I'm thankful my kids didn't break it. I'm thinking just cause like
another notch. You're like another thing. Oh my god.
Another controller you dolts like broke.
Yeah.
Thankfully it wasn't. It just the phone is actually the challenge. But here I am. It's like, okay, we finally have this method. It's going to be super easy for us all to play. This will be great. Try to plug it in. Controller busted. Like table flip. God damn it. So what I ended up but what I was able to find, so I would almost call it like sort of like a third party type of one, like it's not quite a Chinese knockoff, but it's a Chinese knockoff. This is like something that I got. It's like the Victor 01BT. Victor Obit or something like that. It's from like Primus Labs. Okay. But it's Bluetooth. It's a controller, and then like it expands out, and away you go.
Oh wow.
This thing was absolutely fantastic. Right. And the best part too is like if you're watching on screen, you see how wide it can go out.
Yeah.
It's actually made to connect. So it's Bluetooth, so it can connect to all the gaming PCs, the phone. But the one I really liked is that it connects to the Switch.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So this is like a legit excellent feeling controller, but it goes out so that it'll hold that nice little Switch screen like right in the middle. This is a fantastic way to play the Nintendo Switch. I was like really jazzed about that. Now, how good is the controller, Jeff? How good is the controller? I'm glad you asked. How good is the controller?
Are you telling me that you get in this thing and you're like, I can't even control anything?
Can't even control, Jeff. My kill to death ratio was off the charts. You are looking at a Victory Royale winner.
Look at you.
I'm not kidding you. The literal first time I've ever solo won a Victory Royale in Fortnite. I couldn't believe it.
So you're not giving credit to your skill, you're giving credit to the controller? Like, come on, you've been...
Oh, it's my skill.
It's your skill, yeah. Okay.
The driver in the car, Jeff, need to be in a symbiotic relationship in order to win the race. And so it is true with a gaming dad and his controller.
Yeah.
But I will take this victory. I took like 6 or 7 screenshots. I was pretty jazzed. Mm-hmm. But, like, lean in, dear listeners and gaming dads. This is the first time on Fortnite Mobile I'd logged in probably a year or since like it left, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they juiced it to let me win.
No, we're not gonna think like that. We're not gonna take away your joy.
Oh, I'm still joyful. I got that screen. Look at the screenshot. I'm wearing my pug outfit. I have no idea. Like there's sprites. I don't know what the hell they do. Like I'm super confused. But I won the whole thing. I'm taking that's a notch in the belt. That's a victory. But it was just so funny because you and I are talking back and forth about all these controller type things. I find out Fortnite's on mobile. Yeah. Download it. And by the way, gaming dads, if you're gonna download it, play with your kids, this is a Christmas morning. Do this the night before, because you will download the initial Fortnite package, which is some 6 gigs. Right. But then if you want to play, I don't know, a game on the Fortnite, when you open it, you download that particular session because they have like no build, full build, OG, Blitz, blah blah blah, and every time you have to download another 3 to 6 gig package.
Jeez.
So just fair warning, gaming dads, like set it up the night before if you're going to plan to play with your kids because it's a big download.
Good to know, and get a controller, right? So.
So I'd say this type of thing. All it was is that I think there's a decent amount of time when like knockoff controllers. We all grew up with the awful friend controller. They went with your buddy's place, and it's like the third party like Mad Catz garbage. That was terrible.
Yes.
Like this thing is fantastic. Never heard of this brand in my life. Packaging was sort of decent, and it's no knock of the company. Perhaps this is one of the most known companies in the world, and it's just an ignorance on my side. I am just finding that the quality, like floor, for some of these peripherals has sort of risen up. So if you're kind of on the fence for one of these things, like I'd suggest looking this up. This was like $50, connects all these systems, and gaming dads. It resulted in me getting a Victory Royale. Like what more do you need to know about to go and get one of these things?
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Like everyone's gonna get their Victory Royale with this. We're not affiliated with this controller in any way, but it seems like
not yet.
Equipment.
I'm gonna try.
Wait, it didn't have like a turbo button or anything, right? Like those Mad Catz things did have turbo buttons.
This has a turbo button.
Okay, all right.
That's not lost. Let's slow your horses there a little bit.
Okay,
it's got some of those.
Okay, it's not auto aim or anything, but
no. Although the thing with mobile, Jeff, is as best that I can tell, is it does do a little bit of autocorrect on your aiming. And
just to make it.
And I don't know, hand over my heart, if they disable it, if they detect the controller or not. I'm gonna assume they do, because that would be a pretty straightforward cheat code for them because you could just sync up, as you know, you could just sync up your your little PlayStation high quality controller to it.
Yeah.
So they have to turn off auto aim assist if you connect the controller. There's no way.
No. Still a good Victory Royale. We're still gonna.
I'm taking it, man.
Did all
Forget
that.
it.
Yep.
Hey, gaming dads, have you been using controllers? Are you back into Fortnite on mobile? Would love to hear from you at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. And with that, we will wrap it up here for the week. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you like any of these stories from the show, you have your own, did you have your own controller? Have you not finished Ocarina of Time? And you want to know from Jeff how his thing's going, and you want to do it together, reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. One of the best parts of the show is interacting with other gaming dads. We'd love to hear from you. If you did like the show, you can find us on all the major podcasting networks: Google, Caster, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere where you get your podcast. Just search for New Dad Gaming. If you do find us on there, what would really help out the show, would mean a lot to me and Jeff, is if you go ahead and subscribe and rate us and leave a comment. That really helps to boost the signal. The last 2 years has been fantastic for the community around here. It's been wonderful to have some more people kind of hopping onto the show and listening.
Yeah.
We'd love to add your numbers amongst us and hear from you. So please consider doing that. Everybody, once again, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming, and until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old.
Remember, everybody, just because you became a dad
Does not mean it's game over.